everybody, welcome to this week's Weekly Roundup. I have a pretty diverse list, so let's start like we normally do with streets. So good news, Washington, Emmett, Madison, La Follette, that area is scheduled to be completed with paving today, which is Friday. So we will be able to open that area back up. I know it's been a long construction season, but I'm just so thankful that we're able to get that road work completed, and I appreciate the patience of people in that area and everyone who traveled through it. There will, of course, be like a few punch list items, but by and large, from a citizen, resident perspective, that should be open for us today. Liberty Lane is the last one on our list, and I think that's coming like September 18th-ish, so we are almost buttoned up with our street work for this year. We will begin hydrant flushing. So this is something we do a couple of times a year. We flush our hydrants to get water pushed out, but that does have a bit of an impact in the people that live in those areas. So we're starting September 11th. We are going from 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. and we'll have a crew on Main Street, and then we'll have a crew by Hospital Drive. There are a slew of tips. I know Water Department has them on their website. I'm sure we linked them on our Facebook page about like not doing laundry and just kind of turning on your faucet afterwards. So if you're in those areas, just go there. This typically goes pretty well, but when we do hydrant flushing, we do sometimes have water main breaks as well. So if those pop up, don't think it's anything crazy. It just is a part of what happens when we flush the system. Katy Street Bridge. So we are doing some bridge work on Katy Street this year in preparation for the Main Street Bridge work that will be coming very soon as well. Katy Street Bridge work will begin on September 18th, and this is going to be probably not the technical term, but we're going to take off, kind of mill off that top layer of pavement, put on a new layer of pavement, do some sidewalk improvements, and a couple of other small improvements below the bridge that you all won't see most likely. They're hopeful, the DOT is running this project, they're hopeful it'll be about 4 weeks, and we will be detoured the whole time. So we will post the detour. We have worked with schools. We know that this is an impact because Katy Street's a major thoroughfare, but we need to get this bridge rehabbed. The goal is to have this bridge have 20 more years of life. So this is an 80-20 cost share project led by DOT. It'll start mid-September and be about a month. We are hosting an open house for the fire department. So on October 1st, kind of in recognition of Fire Prevention Week, we will be hosting an open house at the fire department. This is a really nicely timed event, obviously with Fire Prevention Week, but it also allows us to allow the public and have our residents come in and see the current status of our fire station and kind of help educate people a little bit about the need for our new fire station. So we're going to have tours. We're going to try to do some demonstrations like with the Jaws of Life. We normally do some hose demos. And then we're going to have things like a bouncy house and stuff like that for kids as well. So that's on October 1st from 10 to 2. And I've been told we intentionally picked a day with no Packer game. So there are no good excuses. It's after church and the Packers are not playing. So come on down, engage with us at the fire department, and take some time to tour our station. On September 15th, we will be doing the Hazardous Chemical Clean Sweep event. This is something we do in conjunction with Jefferson County. We're hosting it here on September 15th. There is a link, I'm sure, posted on our Facebook page with a bunch of information about what you can and cannot bring. But I just kind of always try to bubble it up like these are chemicals. Not paint, not electronics. It's like light bulbs and other hazardous chemicals. So if you're looking for more information, check out the link of what can and cannot come. And this is something you need to register for. So there's a link, I'm sure, for registration as well on our Facebook page. Another bridge update for you. So the Main Street Bridge, we have been doing some work. So if you've seen or driven down Main Street, you may be wondering what's going on. There's two different things going on. In preparation for the work that we will hopefully be able to begin at the end of this month or early October to disconnect the bridge in the appropriate places, we are doing some work to confirm that what was on design plans from the 60s when Main Street was reconstructed did indeed occur. So some of the sidewalk work was us opening up a sidewalk and looking literally into the sidewalk hole and ensuring that certain disconnections happened at particular points. We're also doing some work in the basement area of the Masonic Temple building just to kind of do some soil testing to make sure that when we begin our work at the end of this month to do the bridge disconnection, that our contractors have all the information that they need. So we are anticipating that our work will take about till March, and then the bridge project hopefully should begin in April. We'll know hard and fast information on that hopefully around November. So we're still continuing to plug along. It still is a weekly, if not daily, curveball. but we're doing our best to navigate those. But there is a lot that's going to continue to happen in that area, and of course we thank the patrons of Blue Butterfly and all the patrons on that block as well for their patience. I know we've torn up the sidewalk a bit, but we are getting there is the take home on that one. We have a very, very full week of meetings next week. I approve the agendas each week, and it was a long list. So I normally try to highlight something here, but the list is really too long to highlight. So I think what's a good opportunity instead is to point out that these agendas and packets are on our website. So you can access those through our city website. You can go on Facebook. We normally post the city meetings for the week there. And then we physically post them here at City Hall, at the library, and at the Senior and Community Center. And we send them to the Daily Times as well. So there is a wide variety of ways to know what's happening in the city each week, and we do that so that we can have your engagement. So there's a big, big panel of meetings next week. I'd encourage you to check out any of those sources to get more information. On the recreation front, the splash pad at the Benson Family Town Square is closed. We have had a wonderful first season with the splash pad. It closed on September 5th. We don't technically do our winterizing until like mid-October. So if we have a day over, I think 80 degrees was the threshold we set, and we think we'll have patrons during that time frame, then we will do our best to turn it back on. But otherwise, that is closed. It does have lights that go with it, so you'll probably see those lights in the evenings when it gets darker. We are also doing, on the rec side, yoga classes in the morning and afternoon. We are bringing back some of our really popular things like bingo, so fall leaf bingo is up. We are doing the terrarium workshop on the 20th, I think, of September. That's an always popular one, so make sure you get registered. And a new one that we're doing is, or maybe a similar class but new instructor, is we're bringing back swing dance instruction. So we're partnering with a local business, Ready to Dance, and they will be providing some ballroom dance instruction. We are also doing Fall Foliage Week, which is last week in September. We are doing a photo contest of a variety of different categories. So we encourage you to submit your photos anytime between now and October 27th. Park and Rec has a bunch of information on what those categories are. On the library front, September is Library Card Sign-Up Month. And so they're doing the scavenger hunt in conjunction with that and a bunch of other activities to make sure that people know what they can all get with that library card. And obviously it's still things like books and videos, but I mean, we use the library and my kids will bring home like balls that make ice cream and tablets and zoo passes and art museum passes. And there's a wide variety of stuff you can get for free with your library card. So check out the information they have at the library. We're also partnering with the library and the Senior Center doing a bookworm book club. So that's September 11th at the Senior Center. There is still a lot going on this weekend. I've said before, like there's so much happening in this community, it's almost hard to keep up with it all, which is a blessing. But this weekend on Saturday from 8 to 12, the Senior and Community Center is hosting their rummage sale, which is a big fundraiser. So please swing by there if you have things you're looking for. And then Sunday is Airport Community Day. They're doing a pancake breakfast, I think just from like 8 to 12, and then airplane rides and demos, I think like 9 to 2-ish. So I'd encourage you to stop by the Watertown Municipal Airport. And I know there's a bunch of other fundraisers happening this weekend as well. And as always, Watertown Tourism is your spot for that info. So that's all that I have. Have a good weekend. We'll see you next week.